We give you the chance to ask our vet experts any question you have about your pets. You got a dog, you got a cat, maybe they've got an issue, maybe you're seeking some advice or help, and we all know just how difficult it can be sometimes to get to the vet and the cost of that. So if you need some friendly advice, our phone lines are now open, 514-790-0800, 514-790-0800. If you'd like to ask a question to the one, the only, Dr. Enid Styles, veterinarian at Sherwood Park Animal Hospital in Beaconsfield. She joins us this morning. Hi, Enid. Welcome back to the program.
Hi there.
So, as we wait for our listeners to call in and text in their questions, I do want to start off with the cold. It has been a cold winter so far, and we're being told February will continue to be cold. What do you tell our listeners there about about their pets and dealing with the cold? Whether it's the dog you have to take on the walk or the cat that you may have that's a bit of an indoor-outdoor cat. What do you say about the cold?
Common sense all the way. So, even though they do have fur, it doesn't keep them fully protected from super cold weather. So, as soon as we start getting into the really cold, lower than -10, we just really encourage people to make sure they bundle up their dogs, including even potentially putting on booties if they're going for longer than a sort of 5-minute type of walk. And for cats, for sure, if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, be very careful. Make sure you let them out and let them back in very shortly after, or if possible, ideally just don't let them out and give them lots of things to do inside instead.
For protecting a dog's paws, I remember I used to have those, I think they were called paws, correct me if I'm wrong, those like just rubber booties. And to me, it was just like, it was protection so that they're not making contact with either the ice or the salt and that kind of stuff. Is that good enough, or does it need to be like a more like insulated type glove that you put on?
Yeah, I think it helps again for like really, really cold surfaces just to prevent that sort of contact.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, definitely the salt and gravel that people are, that bother the dog's feet. But as far as keeping them warm, it's not going to do that. It's not.
Yeah.
Most dogs they are very hardy, except for some, and they're just going to keep barreling through. But if they start to lift up their foot, for sure you've gone too far.
Okay, great. Let's go to our phone lines here, and we've got Audrey on the line. Hi, Audrey.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
What's your question for Dr. Enid Styles?
Well, here's my question. I have half a Yorkie, half a Shih Tzu. She's 16 years old, and she's got the energy of 4 dogs. My problem is, why does she want to eat every 2 hours?
Okay. So she's 16.
She's not overweight. She's She's got tons of energy. And the problem is when I go to the vet, I ask the vet, when will she calm down? He says, next year. We are 16 years later.
Well, I think you've got a good problem in that she's just as super active and not acting her age. That's amazing. Amazing. Good for her. Has she always been a dog who likes to eat a lot? Frequently, I should say?
Oh,
okay.
That's
a new thing.
The last year, yes.
Okay. So a few things could be happening. And again, maybe next time you're in the vet, you should bring these things forward. So some dogs, they kind of actually forget they ate. And as they get older, it becomes a sort of attention thing. I feel hungry. Why don't I just eat? And they kind of forget they already asked. And so that could be a behavioral sort of cognitive change that happens with age. But there are some medical things that you should be possibly talking to your vet about. And if that also increase in asking for food goes along with possibly drinking or peeing more, or having any other changes that might, bigger stool, softer stool, all those kinds of things, that would be something to talk to your vet about, because there are some diseases that can actually lead to wanting to eat more and more frequently.
Right, because I don't want her to go through a lot of stress with getting operated I don't want any of that. She's 16 years old.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes it's just a little blood test or a urine test, so it doesn't have to be too bad. But, and maybe it is just cognitive, in which there's not too much we can do. Few little supplements here and there, but just try not to feed her more, because absolutely right. You don't want her to get fat. That's worse for her than eating small meals multiple times in a day. So
okay, Audrey.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Audrey.
You're welcome.
From Audrey, we go to Andre in Ahunsik. Hi, Andre. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
What's your question?
So I got a senior Basset Hound around 8 years old, and I want to know more about what I can supplement his diet with, pre and probiotic-wise. That's safe for dogs, and hopefully natural, yogurt and whatnot. So what else can I do?
Sure. So, I mean, are you looking to give that because there's something wrong with your dog's poops or appetite or anything, or?
No, he's doing all right. Used to have ear infections,
Okay.
given the breed, but we've cleared that up. But
Okay.
it's also just
A Basset, yeah.
general health moving forward. I want to kind of move away from the canned dog food. I still give him the kibble, but kind of add something that's a little better for him.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, in reality, dogs, if they're getting a good balanced diet and they have no intestinal issues or other diseases, they generally shouldn't need probiotics. Their food should have good sort of fibers that help the gut flora be a normal gut flora. So if there's no gas, no burping, or not very much anyway, and stools are normal, I usually just say things are good as far as the need for probiotics. Now, some people will do things like add fiber to their diet, and a dollop of pumpkin is always a good thing. So like canned pumpkin with no sugar, a tablespoon a day can help the stools, help the gut. There's nothing wrong with it. And then other things that are really good for supplements for older dogs are omega-3 fatty acids, which are sort of fish oils. And adding that to an older dog can help both their joints, their skin, and their brain. So I'm a real advocate for omega-3 fatty acids. Just go slowly if you start because it's an oil, right? So it can lead to softer stools if you give too much too quickly.
Okay. All right. Just a quick follow-up question. Where would you point me to online if I want to find academic research that's been done about dog either behavior or health?
Interesting.
Like in general, I mean, there's great research out there. Of course, there's actual studies that have been published. But if you're looking for general consensus, I really love
the studies.
Andre's looking for studies. I don't know if that's easy to access online,
for
Doctor.
studies. Yeah. Well, there are lots of studies accessed online. You just have to put keywords and ask for published studies, and you'll come up with PubMed, and they'll give you the list of studies on that subject. I tend to look at things like the Canadian Vet Medical Association, who have various position statements on all sorts of things, including nutrition for your dog, vaccines, healthcare, etc. So CVMA is a great website, and they have links on their position statements with studies. But you can also find good ones. The SPCA often has great links as well. And a lot of the veterinary schools will have great websites linked to their schools that have information about health and diet for dogs. So I know it's a little bit of a broad thing there, but broad question too.
Thanks, Ed.
No, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andre. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
First Wednesday of the month, we're taking your pet questions at 514-790-0800 with Enid Styles from Sherwood Park Animal Hospital in Beaconsfield. Should also point out that Enid also has a master's in veterinary behavior medicine. If you've got questions related to that as well. Okay, let's go straight over to our phone lines. People have been very patient. I'll start things off here with BJ. Hi, BJ.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Morning. What's your question for Dr. Styles?
Good morning. I have an 18-year-old cross collie, Jack Russell, and she wants to go pee every 2 hours at night, and I don't get any sleep at all. Is there a solution to that?
Wow. I've got the oldies today on this show. I love it.
Yeah.
18 years. Come on. That's amazing. Wow. We don't hear that every day. Yeah. Listen, lots of reasons why doggies might need to pee often. Some of them are very much medical, so urinary tract infections, various hormonal diseases that might lead to a dog needing to pee more often or more amounts or both. So I do definitely, absolutely, if we haven't worked it up, it should be worked up at your vet. If that is all normal and there's nothing going on, then just like I was talking about with this little Yorkie, sometimes who wants to eat often, as dogs get old, they can also get a little Alzheimer's-y, and they can kind of forget what they need to do, become confused, not sure. And sometimes that's just like, oh, I think I need to pee, and maybe they don't, maybe they do, but they kind of wake up to it. So that's a fairly common thing. But because of the waking up at night and kind of needing to go more often, I definitely would want you to rule out some medical reasons for sure.
Okay. And what about a doggy
Oh.
diaper? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You can use them. And I think, especially if there's any leaking or anything that's happening, or, you just think I can't wake up another every few hours. Some people will absolutely use doggy diapers. They're just little Velcro. For girl dogs, it works out very well, but for boys as well. They're little diapers that you put on, and you just put a little sanitary napkin in there to kind of hold the pee.
Great. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
BJ.
very welcome.
That's BJ with the call there. Thanks a lot. Let's go over to Vadroy where we find Linda. Hi, Linda. What's your question?
Hi, good morning. I have I think she's 15 and a half, almost 16, stray cat that we found 16 years ago. Anyways, long story, she's now sneezing constantly, and it's like I have dark wood floors, so you see the sneeze marks everywhere. She doesn't seem to be sick. She eats, she plays, so I don't know.
Great. Okay. Does she go outside?
Yes, but not in the winter,
does,
only in
okay.
the summer.
Okay. Is the stuff coming out of both sides of her nose?
Yes.
And this is lovely conversations, I know, but gotta ask the questions. Is it clear what's coming out, or is it kind of thick or bloody or yellow or green? Or...
It's a little bit yellowish because I have dark wood floors, and it's all over my floors. So yeah.
So it could be an infection happening up there in the sinuses and the canals that are, in the nose area. And sometimes that's due to upper respiratory infections, which can be infectious between cats and could happen, especially if your cat goes outside sometimes. And they sometimes lay dormant, those viruses, and then come out at any point. But there could also be something else, such as infection from teeth going up.
Yeah.
So we can have that cause sinus infections, or foreign objects, or just, other bacterial infections that we see. So definitely, I think it's something that doesn't usually happen, and there's some color to it. Even if we're eating well, I would have a checkup with your vet for sure.
Okay, I will. All right, then. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Linda,
You're
for
very
the
welcome.
call. Appreciate it,
Bye-bye.
Linda. 514-790-0800 if you want to, because I'm going to go to the text message. I've got a queue of messages of questions that have come in on the text message line. If you want to skip that, give me a call now. I will squeeze you in before we get to the end of this half hour. Dr. Stiles, let's go to the text message line. And here's one. My dog is on Pimobendin. Does that make sense to you? Pimobendin?
Yes, it does.
Okay, very
Yep,
good. For
sure.
a heart murmur, can she still take it if she hasn't eaten her meals that day? That's coming from R. What do you say to that, Dr. Stiles?
Yeah, for sure. So very important medication. We don't want to skip that medication. It's a heart drug. And in fact, it is actually meant to be given, generally speaking, consistently without food. So usually we just say, give it no matter what. And if consistently you give it with food, consistently give it with food. But definitely if a dog is skipping meals, ideally you should give it anyway. And my bigger question is, why are we skipping meals? That concerns me on another level. Like, is your doggy not feeling well? But for sure, for that particular medicine, you should give it anyway. Absolutely.
All right, here's another question coming in on our text line. I have an 8-year-old, 12-pound Shih Tzu, and she seems to be constipated. She doesn't go poo every day, and when she does go, it seems difficult for her. Her stools are hard. She eats high-quality kibble. What else can I do? This coming in from Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, that's constipation in itself isn't very common in dogs. So, again, I usually look for a medical reason. Is there a problem? Are we not eating enough? Are we not eating the right things? So that is definitely something to talk to your vet about. One thing sometimes, and I mentioned a little bit before, that we can give dogs to help with stool consistency, that's a very easy home remedy, and most dogs tolerate it very well, is pumpkin. So canned pumpkin from the store, no sugar. And you can add, if it's a little dog, I wouldn't add too much, half of a tablespoon a couple times a day. And sometimes that will help the stool. But I would worry a little bit. Are we getting dehydrated? Is there a problem causing it? Is there a problem with the anal glands or the anus, the rectum? So definitely talk to your vet. But in the meantime, you can certainly try the pumpkin and see if that helps make more stool more frequent.
Back to the phone lines here, and Tom is on the line. Tom says you got a question about your dog. Take it away.
Yes, my Boston Terrier, Zeus. Every time we put him in the car, he just goes bonkers, starts barking at everybody, and he sits at the window all the time and barks at everybody that goes. He just goes nuts. I can't understand it.
Oh dear. Well, that's hard. Does he bark at your house if somebody's passing by a front door or you see something outside?
Yeah. He just sits there and he guards. He thinks he's a pit bull, but he's not. He's a Boston Terrier.
Well, they learn, first of all, they're often doing it because they're a little bit scared, right? So they're like, hey, you stay away. Don't do anything. I want you to stay away from this car or from my house. So they're often kind of being very protective and defensive, but it's usually a place of fear. It works what they're doing, right? So they're barking, and eventually either you're going to pass by in your car or the person's going to pass by. Like, they've just done a great job. So it is a bit conditioned also. So if there's a real emotion behind it, then we've conditioned it to be like, hey, that works. Very hard thing to train out of a dog. So usually what I say is actually prevention is key for most of those dogs. If you can put them in a crate somewhere where they can't see outside the car, or in the house to protect them from seeing outdoors, baby gates, that kind of thing, it can really help, because this is a challenge. It's almost impossible to train out of a dog. So sorry.
I understand, because when he goes, it's unbelievable. In the car, I feel like he's driving. He just goes, it's unbelievable, this dog.
Tom, it seems like you're stuck with the Zeus as is.
I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you, Zeus is a great dog.
That's good.
Tom, thanks very much for the call. Let me just try and squeeze in a quick text message here. Piqued my curiosity, Enid. Why does my 6-month-old kitten lick my leather chairs and drool all over them? It drips when she's done. Have you heard of that? A kitten licking leather.
So, cats will sometimes excessively drool when they're kind of happy, excited, stimulated. And so whatever it is on the leather that is making your kitty feel happy or stimulated is what's causing the drooling. Now, some cats also like the taste, or there is something that's making them want to lick a non-digestible surface, such as leather. So it could be the salts or the tannins that are in there that they are very attracted to. Sometimes it indicates something missing in their diet or something making them feel sick. And that's another possibility as well. So I would, again, tell your vet, make sure that your cat's eating something very balanced and good. And make sure you're not cleaning those leather objects with anything that could be toxic as well, because if your cat's obviously licking, that could be problematic. And that's my answer.
Dr. Stiles, you're a treat. You're so great with our listeners. I want to thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time today.
You're very, very welcome. Have a great day.
Enid Styles, veterinarian at Sherwood Park Animal Hospital in Beaconsfield. And a reminder, first Wednesday of every month, we'll be back at it, taking your pet-related questions.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.